Great. So those, I just put the sequencing in there so that once we start the meditation and tapping, if you need to reference it, I mean, obviously I will be doing it so you can see me, but you can also grab this if you need it for later, because this is an easy situation to do. So just as a reminder of what the tapping sequence looks like is, first it's the side of your hand, and you are tapping just like this on the side of your hand. So you'll need both hands if at all possible. Maybe prop me up with a pillow if you're on your bed. The next is the inner eyebrows are right here. So you just take 2 fingers and on either side you're tapping just so right on the inside of your eyebrows there. You're kind of tapping right there. And then you're going to come out here, and it might be easier if you take off your glasses because you're going to do your temples next. Then under the eye, like right on the orbital bone, right there. Under the nose. Under the bottom lip, kind of in that chin crease we have. Then the upper chest is the next one. And then under the arm. So just take your dominant hand, which for me, it's my right hand. And I'm going to reach under my left arm, not quite in the armpit, but just below it, like on the bra line. And you're going to do that. And then you're going to come up and do the top of your head. Okay, so that's the sequence. And we're only going to do it once, but we're going to stay with each of the statements 3 times. So as we're starting, we're doing the side of the hand, and you don't have to do it yet. I'm just going to show you for a second, but we're just going to sit there and tap and tap, and we're going to say our statement 3 times through. That will be associated with that. And then we're going to move on to the next ones up here at the eyebrows and say that 3 times through. So we're only going to go through that sequence once, but we're going to stay at each station 3 times. Okay, while we just continuously tap each point that we're at. Okay, so good morning, everyone. It's Thursday, November 16th, 2023, and we get to talk about emotional triggers today. And it feels like, knowing little tidbits of everybody's life, there's a lot of emotional trigger happening right now. So I just want to start out by saying tears are always welcome if they come up. If things get too much, just stop and do something that you know works for you to work through whatever it is, whether that's needing to go, whether that's stopping and just taking some breath. Maybe it's getting up and shaking yourself out and moving. But when we talk about emotional triggers and we already have some big emotions happening in our world, it's really natural for bigger emotions to come out. That being said, I just really want to remind you that every emotion has a moment that it shows up, it has a life, and then it has that moment that it disappears. It might circle right back around and feel like it's continuous, but there is that moment of pause. And so it's okay, because you need to let it out, let it have that moment. And that way it doesn't actually get stuck in our bodies. So I just want to remind you that. Feel free to turn off your camera. I'm going to leave mine on so you can see what I'm doing. But we're going to go ahead and go through this this series of tapping, as well as a series of statements. And if one of them shows up and you go, that's not exactly the statement, I need to say it this way, trust yourself. That's your intuition. That's you knowing what you need. So I encourage everyone to shift it a little bit if we need to, for you, to match whatever is happening, whatever is coming up. And remember, this is a safe place. And if you just need me to talk today, great. Or if we need to talk about other things besides technically the topic, but the topic's pretty wide. We all have emotional triggers, and maybe one of them is just really coming up for us. We definitely have the space for that today. So I just want to invite all the emotions. I want to invite all the heart with us today. So let's start today by just putting our hands on our chest and closing our eyes for a moment. And just feeling the tenderness. We all have so much love. And sometimes that feels really hard to access because of external situations and the overwhelming emotions that come with that. But it's a superpower to be able to feel. And it's absolutely wonderful that we can. And we will do our best not to be lost in it. And there's a difference between feeling it and getting lost. Feeling it is healthy. And sometimes we have to rein ourselves back in and then go back to the feeling. And that's a beautiful process. And it's really natural to go back and forth. So just feel that tenderness. And then when you're ready, begin using 2 fingers and tapping on the outer edge of your hand, that side of your hand. And say, I choose to feel whole. We're going to do each of these 3 times. Say it with meaning and conviction. I choose to feel whole. I choose to feel whole. Then come to the inner eyebrow. I choose to release my past. I choose to release my past. And this isn't forgetting about the past. It's just not living in it. It's living in the present. I choose to release my past. And come out your temples. I free myself from guilt, pain, and regret. I free myself from guilt, pain, and regret. I free myself from guilt, pain, and regret. And come under the eyes here. I believe I am strong enough to overcome any obstacles. I believe I am strong enough to overcome any obstacles. I believe I am strong enough to overcome any obstacles. Then come under the nose. I feel calm and confident in my abilities. I feel calm and confident in my abilities. I feel calm and confident in my abilities. Then come under the lips. I know I will be okay. I know I will be okay. And this one might be it might not be a no, it might be a feel that you need to have. I feel I will be okay. Maybe it is no. I know I will be okay. Come to the upper chest with both hands. I trust and love myself. I trust and love myself. I trust and love myself. Come under your arm. I am safe and I am grounded. I am safe, and I am grounded. I am safe, and I am grounded. And then move to the top of your head. I choose to rise and raise my vibration. I choose to rise and raise my vibration. I choose to rise and raise my vibration. Go ahead and release that tapping and put both hands on your upper chest, over your heart area, and allow yourself to cover more space instead of having one hand on top of the other. Really just give yourself a gentle compression in the chest and just feel what your body feels like. If your eyes aren't closed, go ahead. I invite you to do so if it feels safe. And now I invite you from this place to just hum. Hum in a way that you can feel your hands vibrating. So don't do it up here in the nose and mouth. Drop it in your chest. And it's hard to get it all the way down there. So if you can't, don't worry about it. It's something to practice. And try and do it one more time. And just sit there with your eyes closed and allow yourself to just be. And then when you're ready, allow yourself to come back and be with us. And I'm curious if you feel like sharing, what did you come into the session feeling like? What are you feeling now? And that's probably a good starting place for us with